What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony, aka the Sender to Chaos and Controversy, and today we're going to discuss a trending topic. Okay, and the reason why is primarily because the amazing Lucas had got my attention when he went about to go ahead and address this, and it was very much required because I don't think people understand or get the gist of how convenient it is for those to attack someone who has represented this country, has given their all for this country, to uplift this country, supported this country when it came to the Olympics. Okay? And when it came down to a personal situation, something that they needed to remove themselves from to better themselves mentally, because we all know that we have a point that we come to, it's called the breaking point, where we just shut down, okay? And we have to take a step back, regroup, and get ourselves together, you know. But that seems to be something that's unacceptable in particular cases, okay? And the amazing Lucas had pointed that out. Now, in case people are wondering, Tony, what are you getting at? What are you talking about? You talking in circles, okay? Get to the fucking point, okay? The point I'm getting to is you had an Olympic gymnast, Simone Biles, who during an event, she didn't do so well, okay? And it was noticeable. She later went on, after the event had occurred, to say that she was withdrawing from the Olympic team and the final events, to focus on her mental health. Okay, she said she was dealing with a lot of stresses. There was a lot of things that factored into the decision making, and ultimately she basically sacrificed her position and all the hard work that she put into training and getting herself prepared and ready to represent America. Okay, but of course, you get those with that self-entitled attitude, behaviors, and rhetoric to want to come after people who've put more investment in representing this country, to say that they're a quitter. And Lucas brought that up, okay? At what point is it deemed acceptable to say, hey, we understand, you know? And before I go any further into his standpoints, I just want to point out that looking over this girl's resume, this girl has 19 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 2 bronze. Okay. She got 19 world championship golds, and 24 world championship medals. Okay. She's 24 years of age. She's been putting in that work ever since she was young. It is concluded, I guess, somewhere around the age of 16, and she is when she's been, you know, representing this country, making this country proud. But that only goes but so far, because as soon as you appear to be a disappointment, all of those achievements that you've accomplished in the past becomes irrelevant. Conveniently irrelevant. See, I've said it before. It's okay when we are entertainment for this country. Okay? But as soon as you become a disappointment, here comes the ridiculous criticism. And it's amazing to me how you get those like what the hell is his name? He's the English Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, right? Criticized her, calling her a quitter, saying she was a disgrace, this, that, and everything else. And then of course you had others that was chiming in, supporting that nonsense, that rhetoric. And Lucas had pointed that out. He said, you know what? This reminds me of, hey, you know, we are as good as being a buck breaking mule, a racing horse, or whatever the case may be, as long as we're winning, as long as we're a good representation. But as soon as we fall short, you quick to come in and destroy everything that has been accomplished. And then he said, I know. He said, I'm going to put this out there to get ahead of the script. He said, as a matter of fact, I'm going to read the script out to you. He said, it would not surprise me since you got these white Ignants. Those are his words. These white Ignants that always have to come after those, especially people of color, to come with that harsh criticism. But it's okay when other people have mental breakdowns and mental episodes and stuff like that. Oh, they put on that cap and become Captain Save such and such. Come up with all these justifiable excuses, or they veer towards a rational explanation to justify behaviors of some sort, like that Victoria's Secret Karen, as Lucas pointed out. He said you had those in particular that was running to her defense, saying you shouldn't be picking on people who have mental issues or having a mental breakdown. But it's cool when you're a black athlete, Olympic gold medalist, and as soon as you have that moment where you reach your breaking point, it's cool to have that acceptable criticism to say that you're a quitter. And it's funny because it always seems to be that people who put in the less amount of work in anything that they have done always seem to be the type of people, or always be those type of people, to criticize people who have done more than they have ever done in their whole lifetime. But they get to have the luxury of sitting back and criticizing other people. Interesting, isn't it? And you know, it's trending what Lucas is saying. He says, I'm not making it racial, I'm making an observation. He said, you guys make it racial. So when you guys take it to that extreme of making it racial, I only respond to the racial rhetoric. When I said things are noticeable, things you can't ignore, things are just that apparent, people say, nah, Tony, you know, you're always going that route. You're always saying this. But why is it convenient for these people to always have something to say or to always nitpick on certain shit? and then you call it out for what it is, and then people say, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. But if it's the convenient pattern that has been going on and recycling itself over and over and being repeated over and over and over again, and then you want to come to a certain point and just say, snip, now this is just the individual, or this is, but it's like I made that now I'm making the analogy. I said sometimes when you realize good enough just isn't enough, because these people will never be satisfied. They will always find something wrong. They will always find fault in. They will always find something to say that you are lesser than, to assassinate one's character. I said it. I said it when it came to those fighting in the military. When you get those condescending remarks like, if you don't like it here, leave. But what we don't like is the problems that nobody tends to want to address. The problems that people feel like it's convenient to ignore. The problems that people say, hey, you know what? Let's leave it unresolved. You know, it'll fix itself. It's not that bad. You're just playing the victim. But it's funny that when shit starts affecting other people, how they react. Because I've seen many examples that those same very people who want to sit there and say other people are victims be the first ones saying what's unfair, how it's affecting them. They start crying, they start getting all emotional and stuff like that. Look like signs of victimhood to me. But I could be wrong. I could be jumping the gun. I could be drawing an unfair conclusion. Because, you know, it's all about fairness, right? But Lucas goes on to say that it's amazing to him that you get all these people chiming in, you know, and he said he knows it's going to come. He said, you know, the conservatives are going to chime in and try to dismantle, disgrace, discredit, and pretty much just go in for the kill when it comes to Simone Biles. Just conveniently look over all her accomplishments to just focus on this one particular moment, to try to disgrace and discredit her because she wants to focus on her mental health. He said that he wouldn't be surprised if, you know, those that are the grifters, those that always have something negative to say when it comes to the black community, or those in the spotlight that are somewhat a representation of the African Americans, and those who we refer to would be the Candace Owens, the ABLs, the Brandon Tatums, and the conservative twins, the Hodge twins. Okay. He said, I will almost guarantee if they say nothing at all, he'll be shocked. But he almost will put his money to bet that they will be following behind these white Ignants that always got to have something negative to say. But will excuse everybody else. Now, I'm saying white Ignants because I'm being specific. I'm talking about the ignorant white people that always got to be negative about something. Anything that pertains to something that don't sit right when it comes to black people, they're on it. They're quick to make a comment about it. They're quick to give their opinions. They're quick to voice their distastefulness about something. And the self entitlement. And unless somebody checks them on it, they will continue on going about doing what they do. But I've noticed that when you point that out, it's wrong for you to point that out. And I know people say, they get tired of hearing it's racial. Well, you know what? People are also getting tired of being subjected to the racist bullshit. Like I made the analogy. When you are the representation of your country, you still got to deal with a bunch of nonsense. I talked about it when I made the reference to Jesse Owens. You had this man during a particular time who went to Germany to represent America, the United States. Okay? One, came back and still was considered second class. He was congratulated, but during that time, well, people say, hey, what happened back then have to do with today? Because you still got people that have that same type of way of thinking. You're only good enough as far as this goes. You're only good enough as far as, and you'll get your praises, but then after the praises is over and done with, business as usual. But yeah, Lucas put like a lot of people on blast, and he was very passionate about it. And he was in defense of Simone Biles because he himself understands all the hard work and dedication that you put into something that you are passionate about. He was into weightlifting. And he won whatever it was that he was passionate about. So he understands from an athletic point of view the work that goes into you getting to the end game. And then to have someone on the outside try to come and dismantle whatever it is that you're going through. But they're not in your shoes to understand your position. They're only on the outside looking in. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Seems like I'm like rubbing people the wrong way, but hey, the pendulum swings both ways. Well, until next time, until next video, please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.